back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a short little video on art journaling. Some years ago I worked in a bookshop and a lady came into the store who was an art teacher, and I was talking to her about art and how I'd always loved the idea of learning to draw, and she asked me why I never had, and I never had because I thought that in order to learn to sketch or draw it had to be a kind of an innate ability that you had, and she cleared that up for me very quickly. And as a consequence of talking to her, I bought a book on drawing and sketching, and I basically started incorporating it into my journals. So that's really what I wanted to do this video on, was art journaling. A little tip for you, I don't have it with me at the minute, but there is a thing that you can buy called gesso, and it's a primer. It's like a white acrylic paint. You spread it on the paper of your journal, and then you can use your inks, your watercolours, whatever on the page, and it won't seep through. You'll see that in the journals anyway. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you a few of my own journals that I started about a year and a half ago. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so hi guys. Little change of venue. I've spent the last half hour running around trying to find a place that was going to be suitable for this. Okay, and the yoga mat is working well. Alright, so as you can see, these are some journals here. This one is a Moleskine journal. I hope I'm saying that right. Moleskine, Moleskine, Moleskine. People have so many different names for this thing. I call it Moleskine, you know, hey. This is the extra large soft cover, because if you want to put things into it, the cover expands. Whereas I find the hardcover really restricts you. So, and the paper quality is beautiful and great for that gesso that I showed you a few seconds ago. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to show you straight away a couple of pages and what I actually mean by art journaling. Okay, so this one, that's my shed in my back garden. Not a great thing to sit down and draw, but boy did I have fun doing it, because I was trying to implement shadow, everything. As you can see, well, I don't know if you actually can see that, but I have put the gesso on the page so that it won't bleed through. But I really remember this day so vividly. If I'd written about that day, there was nothing special happening, first and foremost. But because I was attempting to draw something, I remember it very differently. And it just adds lovely colour to your journal. I mean, you can pour back over these time and time again, and it's such great fun. Then I chose, oh yeah, this one. This particular one, we went to Loophead, and that again was great fun. We only had a few minutes. I sat down and I had my watercolour kit with me, so I just sat down, sketched out. Again, I had a page prepared because I had some gesso on it. It also gives kind of great quality, I don't know how to say it, but it kind of pulls up the page a little bit, so it gives character to the page. That was July 10th. That was just a lovely day, and great fun to draw. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because I'm conscious that I have made this video pretty long. That particular one, again, as you can see, mostly writing here, but I just put a different element into it. I just drew something instead of all writing on a page, which when you want to look back over your journals, it can be a little bit wordy, and you know, you'll stop midway. But yeah, it's, if you can see, like I put the gesso all over the page, and then I just wrote and drew as I saw fit, and it just adds another element. Then I had a couple marked out here. Oh yeah, this one. This is my dog, Leon. He's the love of our life, and we were on our way to the woods that day, which is one of his favourite things to do. Not a great drawing of a dog, but again, this is my journal. This is just me having fun, a few minutes on the sideline, just having a laugh. And the thing is, there's so much fun to look back over as time goes on. I actually had this journal stored in the attic. And then this particular one, again, I remember this day so well. And there was nothing special about this day, but because when I came home, I had left my dog at home actually to take this walk. And I drew this. I was on my own in the house, and it was just a lovely rainy Sunday. And I'd taken a walk on my own, and needless to say, Leon was not very happy about that. But it's just fun. It's just fun to do, and it's so, as I said earlier, it's very meditative. And, it can just take you out of yourself if you just give yourself a few minutes to kind of relax back and take out your watercolouring. This, I drew a map of my living room because I was thinking of redecorating. So I literally drew a map. This is my journal. Everything and anything goes into my journal. This is a street in our town. I just set out and drew it. It's surprisingly easy to do. I was very nervous about it because I thought some people were going to ask me what I was doing, and because I'm not very good, I was worried that I'd get really criticised. But actually nobody bothered me, and it was such fun to do. I meant to write so much there and ended up not doing it, but I think that's also part of the journal. This particular one was very sad for me because that was the day our son left for Canada. So I was feeling pretty miserable. But that just gives you an idea of what a journal is. I had great fun doing this journal. I wouldn't part from it. Now, as I said, I'm not going to go through all of it because there are some pages that are pretty private, so I'm not going to go through all of that. This one, again, I'm not going to go through all of it. This particular journal is a paper blanks journal. Now, I don't like these journals. I know they're pretty common, but I don't like the paper quality and I don't like the cover, but I stuck with it because I had it and I didn't want it to go to waste. But the reason why I'm showing you this, I just want to show you one page in this because this is an element that you can also add to your journaling. Very fun thing to do. I can't take credit for this. I read it in a book or I saw it on a YouTube video long ago, can't remember where. I'm so sorry about that, but I'd say if you YouTube found poetry, you'll come across something on it. Again, I was just starting, so not a very good rendition of a cat, by the way, but I had such fun doing this, and it's something I always do. Now, I don't advocate going to bookstores, buying books and tearing them apart to do this. Please use old copies or something that's falling apart. That's what I did. This page was from a book called Air and Angels by Susan Hill. The copy was falling apart, so I tend to use it now for this purpose. I gessoed all the page. Didn't draw the cat or anything because I didn't know what this was going to be about. I remember this vividly, and I remember doing this vividly because it was October. Not just because I dated it, but I have this thing, I think I mentioned this before, I love the summer, the hotter the better, I love it. But my favourite time of year is autumn. That August dog days, up into October and Halloween, I adore Halloween. I think if I'd been born in another time, I probably would have been burnt at the stake. But anyway, I just love Halloween and all that time of year. And I remember this day, I was at home, I wasn't feeling very well, and I decided to do this. And basically what it is that you take a page from a book and you find the poetry in the page, and you don't necessarily know what it is you're going to find or what you're going to write about or what's going to come out of it. Sometimes it's only at the end of the page where you realize what the poem is actually about. So you block out areas of words that aren't relevant to what you're thinking and just allow yourself to flow with it, and you end up leaving parts in that become a poem. So what this ended up being for me was, I eventually called it Midnight Streets. I love cats. I can't have one because my husband is convinced they're evil. So we have a dog instead. But it ended up being about cats because I just adore them. But it just is, she goes out every night very late. She feels her restlessness like an itch. The darkness blots out all other thought, but in the end the lights are out. The cats slipping away from the house. They are intent upon malevolent business. No one sees her running before the wind down into the night streets. Perhaps, moving through the wind, she ventures further over hanging trees, under the old buildings, her feet soft on the grass. She is not alone in the shadows. She sees her, senses them. She is exhilarated here in the wind and the rain and the darkness. For now she walks along the path beside the water. Sky races ahead of the wind. The sound of her footsteps will never be heard. And because it mentioned Midnight Streets somewhere, I called it Midnight Streets, and there was a poem. And it was just such a dark and drear day that I just remember that so vividly now. And I was on my own, and it was just so much fun to do, and I felt so much better after it. And I look back on that now. I did a lot of those through this journal actually, but some of them are pretty private. But it's given you an idea of what, you don't have to confine yourself to just writing in a journal. I mean, you can really make them into something that becomes so precious after a while when you look back at them. And if you do want to show them to family members, it's great fun to do. So that's that. I hope I'm making this video short. I just wanted to show you something else actually. This is another TN, for those of you who love TNs. This is another beautiful TN that I have. It's a Chic Sparrow as well. There's the logo there, Chic Sparrow. It's a beautiful leather. It's creme brulee, and this leather smells it's delicious. This particular one I use for YouTube, my YouTube channels, and also I have a blog on WordPress, so I use this just for those things, and it's set aside for those. And I'm shaking the camera everywhere. So I hope you like that. I hope you got a few little ideas. And basically, I suppose what I want to say is, you don't have to be amazing at art to do something for yourself. Do something different. It's never too late. And certainly that day when I met that teacher, she was an art teacher, and when I met her in the bookstore, I'm so sorry I never got her name. But it also just goes to show you that you go through your day and you can say something that can change somebody's life and you don't even realise it. So wherever she is, I'd like to thank her for making me see things differently that day. And again, I'm so sorry I never got her name. But anyway, do try it. Put a little bit of art into your journals. And I'm going to turn the camera around and just say a last few words, and we'll talk again. Okay, well, I hope that that's given you some ideas on art journaling and what it's all about. I really hope that you'll try it out for yourself and spruce up your journals. So until next time, as always, write your heart out. Be good. Bye.